question is why not? If you've had a chance to drive both back to back, you can kind of see like, yeah, I think the hybrid version is a little bit nicer, it's a little bit quicker, and there's a lot of reasons why customers should want to buy the hybrid version of RAV. And we're going to talk about a lot of those today. So we're going to talk about some of the value. And now people know that you can save money driving a hybrid, but that's not really the whole value story with RAV hybrid. In fact, while it's only $1,000 more than the gas version, what do you get for that $1,000? Is it just a hybrid powertrain and better fuel economy? Well, no, and we'll talk about that. Performance. Everybody, when you talk about performance, typically thinks, hey, it's faster, it's got more power. And while that's true, there's also other areas of performance that we're going to focus on. Savings, yes, of course, fuel savings. There's time savings associated with hybrids. There's long-term maintenance savings. There's longer warranty, which will save money down the road. Technology. While RAV is packed with technology, the RAV4 hybrid is also packed with even more technology. Safety, top of the class in terms of standard safety in this vehicle, and we're going to talk about most of those new and existing safety features that we've had on RAV over the last few years. Now, warranty, that is something that we have updated for 2020, and I'll let Brian talk more about that later. And then even a little bit on competition at the end, even though we haven't really had a lot of competition in this segment in terms of the hybrid version of a small SUV, we do now. And we're going to talk about probably our biggest competitor, the CR-V. All right, so let's get right into it. Great value, yeah, RAV hybrid is a great value. So I did mention it's $1,000 more for the hybrid version over the gas, and that's across the board. So LE, XLE, or Limited, it's still the same $1,000 increase. Now, there is one model that is only hybrid, and that's the XSE. And people have asked, well, why isn't there a gas version of the XSE? Well, that's because the XSE, if you look at across our lineup, the Toyota lineup has always been kind of the performance sporty version. Well, the hybrid powertrain is the performance powertrain in our RAV4 lineup, so that's why it only comes as an XSE. There's more standard equipment. If you look at an LE hybrid versus a gas, you're going to get things like alloy wheels in the hybrid, push-button start with smart key, and dual-zone climate control. Those three things alone, you could certainly make an argument are worth $1,000. And you're going to get, of course, the hybrid powertrain, additional performance, better fuel economy, less maintenance, lower ownership costs. So a lot of value. So when you're showing one of these hybrids, don't assume customers know that you will save money beyond fuel or the gas pump. So there's a lot of other ways to build value in these vehicles beyond that. So try not to focus just on the fuel economy, especially since gas has been relatively low, in some cases less than $2 a gallon. Focus more on the content that you're getting, the performance you're going to get, the long-term advantage. And then, of course, 0% on all hybrids this month. So, of course, customers are going to save there with the incentives, makes them a little more appealing. And, of course, $100 spends for you, again, on those Core 4 through July 6th. Oh, just real quick, I'm going to put up a poll. So this is going to pop up on your screen. So it's just a quick question. Just want to ask, how much more horsepower does the RAV4 hybrid have than the gas model? So it's multiple choice. Just go ahead and click on one of the 4 answers. You got about 30 seconds, and then we'll go ahead and discuss it before we move on to the performance. This is just one of the new features we're going to be trying out on this new version of WebEx. So there are a lot more engagement features that we can use on this platform. So, and we'll get into those as everyone's more comfortable. All right. So, giving everybody a few more seconds to respond. About 5 more seconds. Okay. So B was the correct answer. 16 more horsepower. So very good. A lot of you got that. Not everybody. So that tells me that there's an opportunity to learn something here. So let's get right into it. So 16 more horsepower on the hybrid RAV4 versus the gas. So 219 hybrid, 203 horsepower on the gas. And honestly, to me, 16 horsepower, I mean, that's great and all, but it doesn't seem like a lot. And that is a little bit deceiving. So you can look at specs on a sheet and it doesn't always tell the whole story. It's about a second faster, 0 to 60 versus the gas model. All right, so that's pretty good. But what is different about our hybrid powertrain is the instant torque that you're going to have available when you step on the accelerator pedal. Now, in a gas vehicle, most people are used to, if you want to accelerate, you step on the gas pedal, the transmission may downshift 1, 2, 3 gears, depending on what gear you're in. And then the engine starts to rev, and you typically get to that maximum torque peak around 4,000, 4,500 RPM. So there is a slight delay, right? You start to accelerate, but it's gradual, and as the engine picks up speed, it tends to get more powerful. Hybrids are different, though. Because we not only have that gas engine that kind of does that same thing, there is no transmission in our hybrids. Instead, there's an electric motor that has instant torque available. So when you step on the accelerator pedal, that torque from the electric motor is instant. So you start moving quickly every time you accelerate. And the gas engine is able to go ahead and complement the electric motor by, once it gets up to that RPM range where it's max torque, it adds that additional torque onto the vehicle. Now, the other great thing about RAV hybrid is it has standard all-wheel drive. And that's great for performance and traction, but it's also going to improve your acceleration because there is no drive shaft that powers the rear wheels. We use an electric motor, an additional electric motor on the rear axle. And there's a couple of benefits there. One, that electric motor provides additional torque, so additional performance. The other is that the electric motors in our hybrids, when you apply the brakes, they turn into generators and charge the battery. So every time you step on the brake pedal, you don't have one generator that charges the battery, you actually have two. So you'll charge the battery faster, which means you'll have better fuel economy long term, right? And another thing that you can look at in terms of performance is the battery placement. And this is something with the new TNGA architecture that we've put on all of our newer vehicles. It's the ability to place certain components lower in the chassis. So what that means is a lower center of gravity, better handling overall. So that battery, if you've seen in the RAV, is kind of below the rear seat, and it's inboard of both the front and rear wheels, kind of in the middle of the vehicle, and that is placed very low in the floor. So that's going to give us more weight balance. You know, like in a Supra, we're looking for that 50-50 weight balance front to rear. Well, that allows us with this platform to kind of do that, to shift weight to the rear to where we have a little bit more even weight balance for better handling. And something else that's not to be overlooked in terms of performance is the hybrid model is actually quieter than the gas model. And that's for a few reasons. Now, of course, if you're driving in electric mode, it's going to be very quiet compared to the gas model. But the gas engine isn't working as hard when you're in hybrid mode. So it's not revving as high or working as hard. So there's less overall noise in the cabin. So there's a little bit better level of refinement in the hybrid versus the gas. So that's something the customer may notice on the test drive. All right. So now what I would like to do is, I don't want to steal all the glory, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Brian Kaiser and allow him to finish up with the remaining topics. So go ahead and take it, Brian.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy, and good afternoon, everyone. Wow, this works a lot better when you guys are on mute. But we do want to hear from you, so please type in the chat if you have any questions or comments. Joyce will collect those, and Jeremy and I will address those at the end. So let's talk about savings for a moment. Obviously, there's fuel savings. So how much? Well, the RAV4 hybrid gets 10 better MPG, at least, than the comparable gas model. So say a gas model is 30, the RAV gets 40. That is 33% better fuel economy. So, you know, basically, you're saving 33% on fuel. And not only that, but you don't have to put expensive plus or premium fuel in a hybrid. It runs on 87 octane. That's going to save you a lot of money as well. I looked at the gas prices where I live, and the spread from regular to premium is anywhere from 20 to 40 cents, so a gallon. And then don't forget about time savings. So you should talk to your customers about the convenience of owning a hybrid, and that fewer trips to the gas station are in your future. The average is 7 less a year. So just a little nugget like that will kind of get them thinking about, yeah, I'd like to go to the gas station less often, spend less time fueling the vehicle. And another thing to bring up is the reliability of our hybrids. You know, Toyotas are known for reliability across the board. Turns out our hybrid vehicles are some of the most reliable Toyotas that we sell. So you're going to save time not having to repair these vehicles over time, certainly as much as our competitors' vehicles. Even more savings. So I kind of just alluded to the maintenance savings, right? They're very reliable, so less repair over time. But how about brake wear? Have you guys, talked to customers about brake wear on hybrids? Go back to service, ask them how often they change brake pads on hybrids. And it's not unusual for Toyota hybrids to get upwards of 100,000 miles on original pads. So just think about that. You're going to save, a couple brake changes over time. And that's real money that the customer keeps in their pocket. And the reason it can do that is because of the regenerative braking system. So that system that charges the battery also slows the vehicle down with the motors. So it's just less wear and tear on the braking system, which means they'll last much longer. The power split device, that is the transmission portion of the powertrain, is a sealed unit. It doesn't need to be maintained. It's extremely reliable. It's not something that you have to worry about replacing or maintaining over time. The engines in our hybrids are beltless, no starter motors, no alternators, so there are quite a few fewer components than a traditional gas engine, and some of the components that are traditionally driven off belts, obviously since there's no belts, are electric in nature. So overall, just fewer components on the powertrain, certainly fewer to maintain and replace. The maintenance intervals will remain the same for the gas engine because of oil and fluid requirements, but as you own the vehicle, you will definitely save money on maintenance. So technology-wise, this is Toyota's best technology. We put it in the hybrids. This is Toyota's 5th generation hybrid system. We've been building and selling hybrids for well over 20 years. So we have a lot of, experience with them, and we know how to make them work properly. We balance the power and efficiency. So the RAV is a perfect example of more power, but incredible efficiency at the same time. The system knows what you need under certain driving conditions, and you can even dial in what you want as far as power or fuel economy. So whatever you're focused on at the time, if you always want to drive for fuel economy, put it in the eco mode and keep it there. If you like the power that you can get from the electric motors, use the power mode or the sport mode, and you'll get that as well. Our hybrids don't idle, so we not only save fuel there, but we save emissions. Again, some of your customers will like to know that these are among the cleanest vehicles on the road. And then we talked about the regen braking already. It not only saves your brake pads, but it recoups energy to charge the battery, which gives you overall better efficiency. So at this point, I want to put up another poll for you to answer. So this one is on our next topic, which will be connected services. So just take a minute. Which connected services are standard on the RAV4 hybrid? So A is Safety Connect Wi-Fi Connect, B is Remote, C is Service, or D, all of the above. You had about 10 more seconds. All righty. As trainers, we hope everyone gets this 100% correct. But if not, this will be a good time for you to see. So most of you did guess correctly, A. which is Safety Connect and Wi-Fi Connect. So again, this is a good topic to talk to customers about. Standard safety in RAV4 is fantastic. And with that, you also get standard Safety Connect and Wi-Fi Connect. And of course, you know, Safety Connect is the SOS button, the stolen vehicle locator, you know, the automatic collision notification. So, you know, a great suite of safety technology that is standard. Now, of course, you can get upgraded connected services like Remote Connect, which a lot of customers are looking for. It's as simple as upgrading the audio system or moving up in grade for RAV4. Safety, that's not the whole safety story. We also have standard TSS 2.0 on RAV4 and RAV4 Hybrid. That's the newer system that includes the lane trace assist and also the road sign assist. Of course, Star Safety is standard across the Toyota lineup. You may get questions from customers about the safety of hybrid vehicles. They're aware that there's an electric system and a big hybrid battery in the car. They may question, you know, the safety, you know, in extreme circumstances or crashes. Let them know that we've done everything to protect the safety of customers. So in the event of a collision, the relays to the hybrid battery are opened or disconnected so that there's no high voltage running through the system. The battery itself, because of its location, is well protected, but also it's very well sealed. And, you know, it's been tested in every extreme of temperature, floods, crashes, and things like that. So these are extremely safe vehicles. Warranty will come up because customers will have questions about the battery. You know, how long does it last? What does it cost to replace? Starting with 2020, we've upped our standard hybrid battery warranty to 10 years from date of first use or 150,000 miles. So that's across the board with every Toyota hybrid. Of course, RAV fits into that category. The additional hybrid system components, other than the battery, are still covered for standard 8 years, 100,000 miles. Another point is that the warranty is transferable. Some of our competitors don't, they have hybrid battery warranties, but they're not transferable. And then finally, let your customers know that the batteries are designed to last the life of the vehicle. Okay, so like with most Toyota components, they're not going to, you know, fail one day after the warranty period. These are designed to last life of the vehicle. So with the Toyota, you know how long Toyotas last. You can expect that sort of life out of the hybrid system components as well. So just a quick note about competitors. So we don't have many competitors in this space, but we do have a new one. And it's the RAV's biggest competitor, which is Honda CR-V. They just came out with a hybrid version of the CR-V for the first time. And so let's just take a quick look at how it stacks up. So if we look at fuel economy, which is what most customers will focus on with the hybrid, the RAV gets 2 better combined. And I dare say when they test these in real world, it'll probably be even a bigger spread than that. The RAV maintains a horsepower advantage, passenger volume. We now have the longer hybrid battery warranty, and throw in airbags. We have 8 versus their 6. So, you know, Honda's had hybrid vehicles in their lineup. First time in CR-V, the RAV easily outshines the CR-V. So let's just do a quick summary, and then we'll get to your questions. So it's really a no-brainer buying the hybrid version of the RAV4 over the regular RAV. Now, while there is a price premium, it's easily offset by either additional equipment or cost savings or performance. So make sure your customer is aware of all those advantages that make it a better value. You know it's quicker, more powerful, standard all-wheel drive E. Again, you can save on fuel. Again, it gets 33% better fuel economy than the gas model. It needs, you know, less maintenance over time and certainly less repair. And then you do save time owning a RAV4 hybrid. It's fewer trips to get repaired and fewer trips to the gas station. The technology, it's our best hybrid technology that we have in any vehicle. Safety-wise, TSS 2.0, standard Safety Connect, 8 airbags make it an extremely safe vehicle. The warranty has been improved to 10 years, 150K on the battery. And again, we just reviewed how the CR-V hybrid doesn't quite match up to the RAV4.